The world spun like a carnival ride gone wrong, my vision blurring into a kaleidoscope of laughing faces. Family faces, twisted in mirth that felt like knives. I clutched the edge of the dining table, my knuckles white against the lace tablecloth my mother-in-law had ironed to perfection for this joyous gathering. My stomach lurched, a violent wave of nausea crashing over me. But it wasn't just sickness. It was humiliation, raw and unrelenting, as I realized too late what had happened. My sister-in-law, Taylor, stood across the room, her phone raised, recording every agonizing second as I doubled over, vomiting into the antique vase that had been a wedding gift from her own parents. The room erupted in gasps and chuckles, but her laugh, sharp, triumphant, cut through like glass. "Oh my God, Alex, you should see your face. It's just a prank," she crowed, but her eyes gleamed with something darker, something I'd ignored for too long. Betrayal burned in my throat hotter than the bile, and in that moment, as the family stared in awkward silence, I knew. This wasn't a joke. This was war. The evening had started innocently enough, or so I'd convinced myself. It was our annual family barbecue at Jordan's parents' sprawling backyard in suburban Connecticut, the kind of event where the air smelled of grilled burgers, sunscreen, and forced politeness. Jordan, my husband of 5 years, had dragged me here with his usual optimism. "Come on, Alex," Taylor's mellowed out. "It's been ages since the last incident." He meant the time she'd accidentally spilled red wine on my white dress at our engagement party, or the joke email she'd sent to my boss pretending to be me, resigning in a fit of profanity. But Jordan always defended her, his little sister, the golden child who'd never grown out of her mean girl phase. "She's just playful," he'd say, his blue eyes pleading for peace. I loved him too much to push back, swallowing my resentment like bitter medicine. But tonight, as the sun dipped low, casting long shadows over the manicured lawn, I felt the familiar prickle of unease when Taylor handed me that drink. "Here, Alex, try this," she'd said, her smile too wide, too perfect, as she pressed the glass of what looked like innocent lemonade into my hand. The condensation was cool against my palm, beads of water trickling down like sweat on a liar's brow. "I made it special, just for you." Her voice was honeyed, but there was an edge, a challenge in her green eyes that mirrored Jordan's but lacked his warmth. I hesitated, the fizzing liquid catching the light from the string bulbs overhead. The backyard buzzed with chatter, Jordan's dad flipping steaks on the grill, the sizzle and pop of fat on coals. His mom fussing over the potato salad, her floral apron fluttering in the breeze. Cousins chasing fireflies, their giggles light as summer air. I took a sip to be polite, the tartness exploding on my tongue, masking something metallic, unnatural. "Tastes strong," I muttered, forcing a laugh. Taylor winked. "That's the secret ingredient. First nothing." We sat around the fire pit, flames crackling and spitting embers into the twilight sky. Jordan draped an arm around my shoulders, his thumb tracing lazy circles on my skin, a silent apology for whatever family drama might unfold. But as the conversation turned to old stories, Taylor regaling everyone with tales of her latest promotion at the ad agency, her voice booming with false modesty, my body betrayed me. A flush crept up my neck, hot and insistent. My heart raced, palms slick. Then the cramps hit, sharp as a punch to the gut. I excused myself, stumbling toward the house, but it was too late. In the dining room, surrounded by polished silver and family portraits staring down in judgment, I lost control. The vase shattered as I heaved, the sound echoing like a gunshot. And there she was, Taylor, bursting in with her phone, the flash blinding me. The aftermath was a blur of apologies that weren't really apologies. Jordan helped me clean up, his face pale with concern, whispering, "What happened? Are you okay?" But his eyes darted to Taylor, who lounged against the doorframe, smirking. "It was just a laxative, bro, lighten up. Alex can take a joke, right?" She turned to me, her tone dripping with mock innocence. "I mean, after all the times you've pranked me by being so perfect." Perfect. The word stung. I'd always been the outsider in this family, the graphic designer from a broken home who married into their picture-perfect world. Taylor had resented me from day one, seeing me as the thief who stole her brother's attention. But this was crossing a line into cruelty. I lay in bed that night, the sheets tangled around me like restraints, while Jordan snored softly beside me. My mind raced, a storm of emotions churning. Anger first, hot and immediate, fantasies of storming into Taylor's room and smashing her precious phone. But beneath it, humiliation gnawed, a deep ache that made me curl into myself. Why me? What had I done to deserve this? Heartbreak followed, not just for the act, but for Jordan's silence. He'd laughed it off in the car ride home, saying, "She's harmless, Alex. Don't let it ruin the night." Harmless. The word echoed, fueling resentment that twisted like a knife. I obsessed over every interaction, replaying years of subtle digs, the backhanded compliments at holidays, the forgotten invitations to family trips. Denial crept in. Maybe it was a prank, maybe I was overreacting. But no, the cold resolve settled in my chest like ice. This couldn't stand. The next morning, over coffee in our sunlit kitchen, the granite counters cool under my elbows, I tested the waters. "Jordan, about last night." Taylor spiked my drink. "That's not okay." He paused, mug halfway to his lips, the steam curling like question marks. "Spiked? Come on, it was a laxative." "Stupid, yeah, but not malicious." His defense was automatic, protective, but I saw the flicker of doubt in his eyes. "She's my sister, Alex. Family forgives." Forgives. The word ignited something primal. I nodded, smiling through gritted teeth, but inside plans began to form. Quiet, strategic. Play the long game. Weeks passed in a haze of normalcy, but the obsession grew. At work, designing logos for clients, my mind wandered to revenge scenarios, exposing her secrets, sabotaging her job. Doubt crept in. Was I becoming the monster? Guilt twisted when Jordan kissed me goodnight, whispering how much he loved our life. But the resentment won, a slow burn that fueled my resolve. I started small, gathering intel. Taylor's life was an open book on social media. Parties, promotions, her perfect facade. But I knew cracks. Whispers of an affair with her boss, financial troubles from her shopping addiction. Moral conflict raged. Revenge would hurt Jordan, fracture the family. Yet, the memory of that night, the laughter echoing, pushed me forward. One evening at a family dinner, candlelight flickering on china plates, the scent of roast beef heavy in the air, I struck first, subtly. Taylor boasted about her new client, and I smiled, saying, "That's amazing. Hey, did you ever sort out that issue with HR? The one about the emails?" Her face paled, fork clattering. Jordan shot me a look, confused. "What emails?" Taylor recovered quickly, laughing it off. "Old news, nothing serious." But the seed was planted. Tension simmered, a pot about to boil. As part one drew to a close, I lay awake, heart pounding with anticipation. The pursuit had begun, but fear lingered. What if this consumed me? The air in our bedroom felt thick, oppressive, foreshadowing the storm ahead. The plan crystallized over months. A meticulous web spun in the quiet hours after Jordan fell asleep. Our home, once a sanctuary with its warm wood floors and shelves of books, now felt like a war room. I'd stare at the ceiling, tracing cracks like battle lines, my mind a whirlwind of calculations. Anger had evolved into cold resolve, but obsession laced every thought. Fantasies of her downfall played like movies, vivid and satisfying. Yet doubt gnawed, was this justice or vengeance? Heartbreak resurfaced when Jordan mentioned Taylor casually. His love for her a reminder of the collateral damage. Guilt was a constant companion, whispering that I could stop, forgive. But resentment, that deep-seated fury from years of being the punchline, drowned it out. I wouldn't spike a drink. That was too crude, too traceable. No, my revenge would be psychological, a mirror to her cruelty, exposing her vulnerabilities in a way that shattered her world. I started with reconnaissance, subtle as a shadow. Taylor's apartment in the city was a sleek loft, all glass and minimalism, but I knew from Jordan's offhand comments that she struggled with debt. One afternoon, feigning a shopping trip, I bumped into her at a cafe downtown. The air was thick with espresso and chatter, sunlight glinting off chrome tables. "Alex! What a surprise," she said, her hug too tight, too performative. We sat, small talk flowing like poisoned honey. "How's work?" I asked, sipping my latte, the foam creamy on my lips. She bragged about a big pitch, but her eyes darted, nervous. I steered the conversation. "Jordan mentioned you're seeing someone new. Anyone special?" Her laugh was forced. "Oh, just casual. You know me." But I did know, from anonymous tips on social media, whispers of her affair with Mark, her married boss. Hidden motives simmered. Taylor wasn't just mean, she was insecure, jealous of my stable life with Jordan. Layered, yes. Her pranks masked deeper pain from their parents' favoritism toward him. But that didn't excuse her. The slow burn intensified. At a family brunch, pancakes steaming, syrup sticky on plates, I dropped another hint. Jordan's mom asked about Taylor's job and I said innocently, "She's killing it, but that HR thing must be stressful." Taylor's knife scraped her plate harshly. "What HR thing?" Jordan pressed, fork paused. "Nothing," she snapped, but the air crackled with unspoken accusations. Later in the car, Jordan confronted me. "What's going on with you and Taylor? You're acting weird." His voice was laced with worry, the leather seats creaking as he shifted. Feigned confusion. Just concerned. "She's family, right?" Inside, moral conflict raged, hurting him to hurt her. But the pursuit drove me, a compulsion I couldn't shake. Phase 2, amplification. I created an anonymous email account, sending Taylor cryptic messages. "I know about Mark. Does your brother?" The first one hit during her big presentation. I imagined her phone buzzing, her poise cracking. She called Jordan that night, voice trembling over speakerphone as we cooked dinner, the sizzle of onions in the pan masking my satisfaction. "Some creeps harassing me. Think it's a competitor." Jordan comforted her, but I saw his suspicion grow. "Alex, you wouldn't." "No, of course not." His words hung, a fracture forming. Suspense built in quiet moments. Walking our dog in the park, leaves crunching underfoot, autumn air crisp and biting, I plotted the finale. Fear crept in. What if she traced it back? What if Jordan left me? But resolve hardened. This was poetic justice. The climax came at Thanksgiving, the house alive with aromas of turkey and pie, laughter echoing off walls adorned with family photos. Taylor arrived late, disheveled, her usual gloss tarnished. "Rough week?" I asked, handing her a glass of wine, untampered but the gesture loaded. She eyed it warily. "You tell me," she muttered, downing it. Dinner was tense, silverware clinking like ticking bombs. Jordan's dad carved the bird, juices pooling, while his mom prattled about traditions. Then Taylor's phone rang. Mark's wife, tipped off anonymously. The call blasted on speaker by accident. "You homewrecker." "I have proof, emails, photos." The room froze. Taylor's face drained of color, fork dropping. "What the hell?" Jordan exploded, standing. Accusations flew. Taylor denied, tears streaming, but evidence mounted. I'd leaked just enough. Chaos ensued. Yells, sobs, Jordan's heartbreak palpable as he realized her deceit. In the fallout, as guests left in awkward silence, Taylor cornered me in the kitchen, counters sticky with spills. "You did this," she hissed, eyes wild. "Why?" My voice was calm, laced with years of suppressed rage. "Prank's over, Taylor. How's it feel?" She lunged, but Jordan intervened, piecing it together. "Alex. Did you?" His betrayal mirrored mine, a shocking twist. He chose her, storming out with, "I can't believe you'd stoop this low." Alone that night, rain pattering against windows like accusations, guilt crashed over me. Revenge tasted ashen. I'd won but lost everything. Obsession had blinded me to the cost. The emotional payoff was bitter. Poetic justice, yes, but the psychological impact left me hollow, questioning if the cold resolve was worth the heartbreak. In the end, betrayal begot betrayal, a cycle unbroken. Yet, in the quiet, a final twist. An email from an unknown sender. "Well played, Alex. But game's not over. Taylor. Or someone else." Suspense lingered, unresolved.